What's up, everyone? Champet's back again for another UFC predictions video. This time for the fight night this weekend. Amanda Lemos versus Virna, Jandiroba. Very excited for this card. This card has so many sleeper bangers, and I'm super excited to talk about it. Not an easy card to predict, but I'll try anyways. It is what it is. Having fun here. But first, let's go over the results from last week. UFC Denver. If I can do this. Sorry about that. Here we go. Do that. Not so great of a week for me. Definitely. I mean, this is actually the worst one I've done so far. It is what it is. That sucks, but it is what it is. We'll be back. I'm not discouraged. Maybe I should be, but it's okay. But let's go over the results, like from bottom to top. Luana Santos, Maria Agapova. This should have been like one of my bigger bets of the card. Like Luana, freaking, it was too easy. It was too easy, and so many things going on in Maria Agapova's life. Just it was kind of a tailor-made matchup. It felt like, and that's basically what it was. It was a great win by Santos. I don't know what to say. Like, well done. I can't believe I got her at the minus 220 odds. Right there, early on. The fight next up that I did have a bet on was Fatima Klein, Jasmine Jasudavicius. I put a bet on fight to go the distance, and that's exactly what it was. I wasn't worried about Jasmine because I know Jasmine's such a tough girl, and this is a 115 girl coming up. I was worried about Fatima, but like even then, I know Fatima's a really tough girl. This is her opportunity to come in and fight a girl like Jasmine, and boy, did she bring a fight. I really, Fatima is so good. I said this in my breakdown. But I love me some Fatima Klein. I think she's got a future, especially at 115. I think her, Fatima Klein, and Josephine Knudsen, they're like the best prospects in that division, unless I'm forgetting someone. Maybe I'm forgetting someone, but like those two really stand out in my mind as like these girls are the future. But yeah, that great performance by Jasmine. Did what you had to do. It was a clear difference between 125, 115. That's a real like 125er Jasmine, and man, she's good. She's good. There's no denying Jasmine's abilities. Christian Rodriguez versus Juliana Rosas is the next one I bet on. This is my big bet of the card. I got a big pie on my face. Man, Christian Rodriguez, what the hell? It is what it is. I love me some Christian Rodriguez still. I mean, of course, I don't wish it was my biggest bet of the card, but I mean, it is what it is. I understand why I went big on it. I did think Christian Rodriguez had so many advantages. I do think that going as big as I did on an elevation, like, not the best. Is it maybe like exceptions for like people who train elevation, like Rose Namajunas, like something like that would have been like, that makes a lot more sense to put more money on them. Like, for instance, like Raquel Pennington's gonna fight Juliana Pena in like Salt Lake City. That's gonna be at elevation. I'm gonna like Raquel Pennington to win that fight. It's gonna be at elevation. Raquel trains at elevation, that kind of thing. So I think that's something I probably need to consider way more, because when I was watching that fight, I was thinking, man, Christian Rodriguez looks tired. Like, I couldn't believe it because he just comes out looking like that pretty early on, and it's just like huffing and puffing, and like he taps so quick to that guillotine, and it's like, damn. And of course, that's a really good guillotine. Juliana Rosa is no joke. I'm betting against. I should have known not to bet that much against Juicy J. Juicy J is that dude. I bet on Juicy J's last fight, so I knew like Juicy J is not like, he's not like washed or anything. But just not a great performance from Christian Rodriguez. I think maybe in the future that means we'll get a better odds on him, which I think, crossing the fingers. But yeah, not a great bet at all. It is what it is. Angelusa versus Gabriel Bonfim was looking pretty all right round one, but like from rounds 2 and 3 on, Angelusa was just, he's throwing punches and missing everything, almost everything he was throwing. He's like, he's trying to spar. He's not trying to do anything. I'm assuming he was gassed. He was tired. It was his Denver. I took a shot because of that, because I thought Angelusa would do better. Gabriel Bonfim definitely was like not necessarily like fresh. Like, he's not fresh really. He was tired too, but he was actually landing and he was doing pretty good. So shout out to Gabriel Bonfim. Did his thing. I wasn't too much of a big fan of Gabriel Bonfim's like guillotine attempts. He did a few of those. I was like, interesting. I couldn't. It was really I was really shocked by that, and like I knew Angelusa wouldn't get like subbed by it, so I'm not too mad at the dog shot. I took on him. I didn't. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't even a unit. No shame. It is what it is. I'll live with that one. Drew Dober versus Gene Silva. Uh, freaking. This Silva guy is insane. To do what he did, like it's so impressive. To go ahead and go to Denver, where Drew Dober trains all the time. He uses the altitude. You're coming in on short notice. You had a fight camp, but you're not altitude ready. Like that matters to me. So that does not like miss me. It's like, oh, he had full fight camp. No, you didn't have time to train for altitude. And to go in on fight a guy at a higher weight class at 155 while you were a 145er, former 135er, and to do what he did is insane. It was a very competitive fight. Don't get me wrong. Drew Dober landed some freaking big shots on Silva, but like that Superman punch that Drew Dober hit was just freaking phenomenal. But like those spinning elbows were a thing of beauty from Silva, and I'm just so impressed by that performance. I'm not mad I took a bet on that one because the circumstances were what they were, and it's like I did factor that in very much so, and I think that was completely fair. And yeah, it is what it is. Great win by Silva. Super impressive. Then we have Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Muslim Salikov. In my eyes, this is probably the worst bet I made on this card. Man, you could argue I should have won, but like I thought it was Muslim Salikov rounds 1 and 2. I thought he won rounds 1 and 2, and I was like, what the hell are you doing, Ponzinibbio? I was so frustrating watching it because I thought Ponzi could come in after like round 2 especially, but even in round 1 I thought he can come in and really like land some shots, but it's like he's not even putting up the volume I thought he would. I went in thinking like this guy's the guy who's less washed, but like man, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Man, it did not look good. The case, of course, for Muslim, always beautiful. They're always good. Most of them missing, if I'm honest. Most of them were missing. But Ponzi didn't capitalize. Like, that's the thing. I'm like, man, come on, Ponzi. It is what it is. Yeah, putting as much money as I did on that one was definitely like a misplay. That wasn't as good. But I really was confident in Ponzinibbio, so that's why I did what I did. It is what it is. We'll bounce back. And then Rose Namajunas or Tracy Cortez in the main event. Man, Rose Namajunas is that girl. So many circumstances in her favor, like training at altitude. Tracy Cortez coming in at short notice, not ready for altitude for her first 5-rounder, and things like that really showed. It really showed in the fight, and like it's a levels difference. It's a great learning experience for Tracy Cortez, and she can absolutely take it and go from there and do really good things. But like at this moment in time, it's going to be Rose all day. And yeah, she looked good for the weight class again. This is her best performance at flyweight, and man, it's good to see Rose look good like that. So yeah, great one by Rose. Let's go over the rest of the card real quick. I have not covered so far. Evan Elder versus Darius Flowers. If it wasn't on such short notice, I would have probably bet on Elder, even at those sucky odds. It wouldn't have been much. But man, the level is different. I mean, it was pretty clear when watching that fight. It was pretty freaking clear. Evan Elder's that dude. Also, I guess I didn't save my like top picks for some reason. Weird. You saw what my picks were on the video, so it's not like there's no proof of like picks and stuff like that. But yeah, I can just count them up right here. So yeah, I picked Evan Elder. He definitely won. I picked Petrosky to win via being better, really, and like I think the wrestling would play a great factor. I wasn't expecting it to be as dominant as it was, and probably a good thing it was because it did look like he was kind of fatigued, and he talked about that in his post-fight speech. But yeah, Petrosky's no joke. He's good, and he was needing a win, and he got a win. He just got booked to fight Dennis whatever his name is, Budka. He's gonna win that fight. Already talked about that one. Montel Jackson versus Damon Blackshear. I had Jackson to win a decision, I believe, and I didn't expect him to get a KO. But that's what Montel Jackson does. Or not, I mean, maybe not really what he does, but like this dude is dangerous, and this dude is like the real deal. He's got the wrestling to back up. He's got great hands. I believe he's the guy with the hand size of that's like bigger than Ngannou's, which is like insane for a bantamweight. And yeah, as his nickname says, he's quick. I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see him fight Peyton Talbot. And you know what? If they fight, I'm on Montel Jackson. Not gonna say any more than that. I like me some Montel Jackson. Already talked about that one. Charles Johnson versus Joshua Van. I was thinking about betting this fight, and I stayed off. I went with Charles Johnson to win. I didn't expect him to win round 3. I'll tell you that. I thought rounds 1 and 2 were close. I gave round 1 to Johnson, round 2 to Van. And man, Johnson came out round 3, like with a fire in his chest, and he tried to get Van out of there. And man, he freaking did. I was so impressed to do against like a young guy, and it's like one of the best performances from Charles Johnson. Arguably, actually no, it's not arguably fight of the night. Fight of the night is Jandiroba Silva. Come on, but this was a great fight in itself. And man, what a performance from Charles Johnson. Look good. Happy I picked him. Brundage Abdullah versus Isaac Alassane. I don't even have much to say about this. Brundage got hurt, and then Alassane did back of the head shots, and it was no contest. I'm happy it wasn't a disqualification. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. I talked about the rest of this. So excellent. Now let's make sure these picks save this time, and let's get over and talk on Lemos versus Jandiroba. Mo Usman versus Thomas Peterson. This fight, I don't know what the hell these people are saying with 86%. I got Mo Usman to win a decision, but I'm just like, I'm not confident. I can see Thomas Peterson get a takedown. I think that's super possible. I'm by no means probably putting any money on Mo Usman. I think anyone calling him a lock is like kind of insane. I think Mo keeps it on the feet. I think he can win the striking via having just better shots on the feet. That's really what it comes down to. If Thomas Peterson gets a takedown, he's gonna win. I'm banking on Mo Usman not getting taken down. Have a good wrestling of his own. Not much of a breakdown, but I don't really know what else to say. Luana Carolina versus Lucy Pudilova. I'm going Pudilova to win it. Probably a split decision. Let's be real. This is gonna be a close fight. I'm not so high on Luana. I'm really not. I've always thought of her like the female Neil Magny and how she fights. Like it feels like it's a hold against the fence type of style. And she really relies on her being like bigger than you. She doesn't have like as much of the wrestling capabilities of like a Neil Magny, of course, but like size is definitely like something that's helped her. And like if you can't, you have to at least be able to compete with her on the feet to really do well. And if you can't take her down, I mean, you're screwed. Like if you don't have anything on the feet. Here's the thing with Lucy Pudilova, because Pudilova, in comparison with these past girls who Luana Carolina beat, she's gonna be a bigger girl. It's like former 135er, of course. What am I gonna say? She does have wrestling in her capabilities, and I think she might be able to use that against Luana, especially to like mix it up. And of course, since she's like a bigger girl, I think she can have some success with it. I wasn't a big fan of some of how this was a bad robbery, to be fair. This was a really bad robbery, and I thought Lucy looked really good in that fight. But the first fight was not a good look, of course. Although at the end of round 3, or not the end of round 3 of that fight, she was freaking smashing her, and I was hoping to God for a 10-8 or finish because I had money on Pudilova. I had a lot of money on that fight, and she's very let down by the judges not giving a draw, but it is what it is. But yeah, I think Pudilova is going to bounce back with a win here against Luana Carolina. Not super confident, but I do think she wins. Can I get a bet? Can I like get myself to a bet on her? Maybe. Odds are closer than they were. Like, it's not minus 120 anymore. It's minus 108. We'll see. That's something I need to... If I do, I'm not putting much on it. I'm not putting much on it. So, next fight. like Radzhabov versus Trey Ogden. I think Radzhabov wins. I'll go with decision. I think Ogden's a tough dude. Excuse me. I think Radzhabov is just so much of a physical force that I think it's hard for Ogden to really deal with. Her Hollaba legitimately just stared at Ogden and really didn't do much. He was too scared of the takedowns, and I think like the takedown threat was like everything for that fight. And with Loic, it's a little different because I think Loic doesn't really try to engage with takedowns, but if guys try taking him down, he's like, okay, let's go to freaking war. Let's go to war, and he's willing to wrestle you, and he's not a bad wrestler at all. He can wrestle. I do like that he's training at Killcliff, and I think he's gonna be maybe even able to catch Trey Ogden. I think he can have success with wrestling. Like I just kind of think Trey Ogden's kind of outmatched. Like the guy who was giving Loic problems last time was Al Sawadi, but the thing with Al Sawadi that really gave him a lot of trouble was the movement, and Trey Ogden just doesn't have that as much. He really doesn't. And I think like the lack of movement like that Trey Ogden has in comparison to like guys of the past that Loic has fought, it's just I think it's too much for Trey Ogden. So yeah, I like Loic Radzhabov. Am I gonna bet it? I might. We'll have to see. It's not one of those like ones I'm super passionate about betting. There's two spots I am really, really passionate about betting. And like I think there's 4 in total that I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna have money on this one. But yeah. That's not one of them, but like I think we'll see. I think might put a play on Loic. We'll see. Miranda Maverick versus Diony Barboza. Speaking of plays I want to make, here we go. Little theatrics. Let me make sure I can see my camera. Oh my god, please focus. Please focus. Whatever. It's a signed shirt from Miranda Maverick. Miranda Fear the Maverick. I tried. I love Miranda Maverick here. I absolutely love her here. I think she wins. I'm going with sub. She's calling for a sub. Round 3. Why do I love Miranda Maverick here? This is going to be probably the biggest breakdown of the video. There's many things. Many things that I love about Miranda Maverick. First off, let's talk about some of the people she's training with. Who is Miranda Maverick training with? Oh, it's Rose Namajunas and Jasmine Justavicius. Those are pretty good. And there's another one where she's training with oh man, the current champ at 135. It's Raquel Pennington. I think I like the training camp she's at Team Elevation. I really like that for Miranda Maverick, and she's getting good looks from like some of the best girls that are in the UFC right now, like legitimately. So I love that for her. She was already training for Tracy Cortez, who was going to be your opponent, but then switch. Now we have a late replacement, Diony Barboza. And I'll get back to that late replacement, of course, when I'm talking about Barboza. But not Tracy Cortez. Miranda Maverick was definitely training for like wrestling and prepping in that Tracy Cortez fight. You know she's definitely going to do that. Miranda Maverick's always trading everything because I've listened to so many Miranda Maverick interviews like this week talks about I'm not training for anyone specifically, but I'm training for the champion. And like Grasso, Shevchenko, people at that level, Manon Fior. And I absolutely love hearing how she talks about like how she like examines the game, like the MMA game. What do I want to say? Because I have so many points I don't want to miss when I'm talking about this. Miranda Maverick is definitely improving. She's 27, like literally just turned 27, and now just entering into her prime. Has way more experience. Like she's fought the likes of Erin Blanchfield, Jasmine Justavicius, Macy Barber, Robbery, by the way. I don't think anyone should forget that. Andrea Lee, Priscilla Cachoeira. I mean, that was not the freaking that great of a win. Shayna Young, like some of those wins are not so great. Jillian Robertson, I totally forgot her. That's a really good win. It ages super well. Sabina Mazo, um, like she has so much more experience. While Dione Barbosa, Jenna lost to Jenna Bishop, lost to Josiane Nunes as well. Got wins. One against Rain Guerrero, Ernesta Kurtzgeta. She has a win over Karine Silva as well, which I know people are like, wow, she beat Karine Silva. She's the real deal. Like I think people have to realize about Karine Silva, she's not what she was. Like what she was back then, she wasn't all that good. But if I'm being honest, now she's very, very good. Don't get me wrong, she's gotten a lot better. But like the times in that time period, especially when like Dione Barbosa beat her, probably like that was like towards the end of that. She's just not that great. But like she's leveled up a bunch. So I don't look at that win as like anything that crazy, if I'm honest. Losing Jenna Bishop, she got put on her butt against Jenna Bishop, which is like interesting. Got knocked out by Josiane Nunes, which is very interesting too, because if you look at how Josiane Nunes has been fighting, like against Chelsea Chandler, she's been like taken down, and it's like she can't get up and stuff like that. And like Dione Barbosa was doing good in that fight. She was able to get takedowns, stuff like that. But like gas tank is an issue. And late replacement, I'm not sure if her gas tank's gonna be there. And even then, even with like full fight camps with her, we see a common trend where it's like 7.5 minutes in, and like now she's like kind of donezo. It's tough for her. Should she have won her last fight? I'm not so sure. I had money on Ernesta. It's like at least some. No, I didn't have money on her, but I live bet her. I live bet Ernesta, and I was like, what is this? Like, I was really shocked by like because Dione Barbosa was doing great round one, great control, but like again, Ernesta Carrasqueta does not have a great ground game. She does not. And if you're Dione Barbosa, with getting the positions that you got, you probably should finish. You probably should finish, especially with how you are and like you get gassed. Like I mean, like the Rain Guerrero fight. Rain Guerrero not so great. Barbosa was a big favorite going to that one. It was a tailor-made matchup for her. It was good, easy for Barbosa, and she made it look easy as she should have. But like Miranda Maverick is so tough to finish. She's not been finished actually at all. She's a tough son of a gun. Even if you look at some fights, her Jasmine fight, she talked about how she was basically practically blind in that fight on round 2 and on, and that she can like I literally can't see a thing. The fact that she was still freaking in there with that is ridiculous. She's so tough. And also to add to that, like Erin Blanchfield fight, I went back and like looked at it again. It wasn't as bad as I remember it being. Obviously, she didn't win in that fight, but she performed a lot better than a lot of girls do against Erin Blanchfield. Like she was able to get up a good amount of times, and she was able. I mean, obviously, Blanchfield kept getting her back down on the ground. Blanchfield's grappling, wrestling, not the greatest. I won't lie, not the greatest, but the grappling is just unbelievable. And to be able to get up from those situations is I think it's good. And Miranda's definitely improved since then. She's gotten better. Even the Jasmine fight wasn't as bad as I remember, because I remember thinking she lost every round, but when I went back, it's like, shoot, I think she won round 1. That's kind of interesting. And like, again, Jasmine's super good. These girls she's lost to are super good. Macy Barber, incredible, probably future title contender. Jasmine Justavicius, probably the worst one of all these girls she's fought, but like she's freaking good. She's top 15 easily, probably top 10. And Blanchfield, what do I have to say? If any girls on the ground with her, they're in trouble. So I put literally no shame in any of those losses for Miranda Maverick. And I just like I don't see why so many people are like so down on her. It's like, oh, she can get bullied and stuff like that. Man, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's like totally the case. And like after watching back the tape, it's not as doesn't seem like how I remembered it being, because I did think that way, but like, not really, not really. Um, and Miranda is making step ups in her game. Her striking last performance against Andre Lee, the distance management. Joe Rogan talked about in the commentary. Distance management and the footwork was just a thing of beauty, because she would not get hit. She would move. She would move in and out perfectly and land some good shots. And I absolutely love that. I think that's going to be super useful here on the feet with Dani Barbosa. Dani Barbosa is super explosive. She has a really good 1-2. Maybe not really good. She has a good 1-2. Not much else. She does have a spinning elbow, which is pretty good for girls who just come in. Karasketa got caught a few times with that. Thing is, though, like with that, like I mentioned, the distance management, the footwork, I don't think Miranda Maverick's going to get caught by that, like spinning elbow. Even if she does, she is so durable. She is so tough. She does tape study all the time. She knows what her opponents are going to do. She probably knows that's going to be coming, and she's going to be ready to go for it. Something else people were mentioning. Dani Barbosa has a great judo background. She absolutely does. She is a pretty good judo practitioner. Maverick has acknowledged it. And something I really love that fighters do, they know what fight they're getting into. If they know what their opponent wants to do, then you can prepare for that opponent and be ready to do what you need to do. And I absolutely love that, because sometimes you see people talk about a fight in a way, and it's like, well, I don't know, because I'm not sure if this fight's going to go like that. You have to always consider what the opponent's going to do. I do love that Maverick is saying there's a chance this girl does have better cardio now. I'm going to be ready for anything. I love that. I love that. But yeah, I think Maverick's got the wrestling advantage here too. Like the only girls who, I'm not only girls, but most of the girls that like I've tried to take down Miranda Maverick are like the girls who are like have really good really physical and have like really like, I mean, good takedowns really, except for like Blanchard. I don't think Blanchard has great takedowns, but she's a big girl, of course. And her grappling, and I don't think Miranda Maverick is ready for that in that kind of matchup. But people are assuming that yes, Dani Barbosa is the bigger girl and she's going to get takedowns, but I don't necessarily think that's the case. And even then, her takedowns are a little weird, because they're more like she's a judo girl and she wants to like take you down like in different kinds of ways. I don't know the exact terms, and I don't know judo like that, but she does different types of takedowns. But the thing is with Dani is that her legs are open. Her legs are open to be taken down, and Miranda Maverick loves going for those legs, and I just see that takedown being there for her. I really do. And what else is there to say? And on top, yeah. I also need to talk about Dani Barbosa's jiu-jitsu. She's really good jiu-jitsu, of course. But the thing is, again, with her jiu-jitsu, she's fine with playing off her back, and she has no problem doing that. That's a problem here in this matchup, because I know Miranda Maverick is going to do damage on top. She always emphasizes, I'm going to do damage. The whole point of this is to do damage, and she's absolutely right, and that's how you should do it. She's going to stay on top and land and be smart. There's probably going to be sub-attempts by Dani Barbosa, but we've seen Miranda Maverick be put in sub-attempts and keep herself safe against the likes of Jillian Robertsons of the world. Miranda Maverick is good, and like I understand why she's priced like this. I got her on -180. I'm very happy with it, with that price tag, and that's my biggest bet of the card. I'm very, very confident in Miranda Maverick. I think she's going to do what she wants. I don't think, but I know a lot of people are saying Barbosa wins round 1 and Maverick wins round 2 and 3. I don't even necessarily know if that's going to be necessarily the case. Even if it is the case, I love Miranda Maverick in round 2 and 3 in this fight. I love her in those rounds, especially round 3, because round 3 she's going to just put it on her. And I like her to finish this up because I obviously Barbosa gets tired. But Maverick has been saying, like, I need to show this girl freaking levels. I need to show her levels. And I think what better of a way than get a finish. She's talking about getting a sub. I think she will get a sub. I love Miranda Maverick here in this fight. That was a lot. Next fight up the card. Cody Gibson versus Brian Kelleher. I don't have as much as I need to say here. I don't want to bet this one. Actually, hold on. I forgot to talk about the betting lines and stuff. Yeah, Maverick's like minus 225 now. I think that's still fine. I'd probably like minus 250 is like the max Mariner Maverick should be, but yeah, forgot to mention that. Anyways, Cody Gibson, who's minus 200. Yeah, I like Cody Gibson to win this fight because of volume. I think the volume is going to be too much for Brian Kelleher coming off of bad surgeries. It's like I feel so bad for Brian Kelleher. I love Big Boom Kelleher, but I won't lie, man. The sub is there for Kelleher to get on Cody Gibson. That's a big worry. I've not been like the biggest fan of like Cody Gibson, and like I don't feel like super confident in this. I don't want to put money like that on like Cody Gibson at all, if I'm honest. I'm really not. Yeah. But I think the volume should work. I think Cody Gibson can keep himself safe. Maybe even get a sub of his own, but I think he'll keep himself safe and get Brian Kelleher like that. Yeah. Kelleher's motivation's at an all-time high though, so I will say that. It's something to mention. Hyder Emil versus Zhang Young Lee, the Korean Tiger. What a nickname. Here we have our second big bet of the card. The bigger bet. I love the Korean Tiger here. I think he gets a club and sub in round 2. I don't know about the round, but this dude, Korean Tiger, impressed me so freaking much in his like last fight. Like against Blake Builder. Just I didn't see it before in his fight with Yinza, but like Yinza's pretty freaking good, so like there's nothing to take away from that. But like that Blake Builder fight, he showed his like skill set, and I was just floored with how impressed I was with this guy. This guy's body shots are so, it's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty, and he hits so nice. I love him on the feet. Picks his shots so well, and he's able to time dudes and get them good. Hyder Emil doesn't have the greatest cardio. Gets hit a lot. I didn't think his Fernie Garcia fight was a really good look. It's a good look that he was able to finish Fernie Garcia. That's impressive. But I mean, Fernie Garcia was doing bad things to you at points, and it's like that's not a good. I don't think that's a good sign at all. That's his style. I get that, but like, I think a guy with like Lee, who's so massive for this division, who's going to have grappling upside in this fight, man, I freaking love him on this spot. I love him here, and I think he's going to end up winning, and I think he gets a club and sub. So yeah, give me Zhang Li. I love him in that fight. This fight. I hate picking this fight, but I'm gonna go with Bill Aggio to win a decision. Doo Choi is patient. He's very patient. I mean, that draw to Kyle Nelson does not age bad at all. It does not at all. It's been so long since Doo Choi has won a fight. It's been 8 years, like 7. It's been 8 years since he's won a fight. That's just rough to see. Of course, Korean service, like I get it. Like join the army, I get that, but I've just not been really crazy about what I've seen from Doo Choi. But even then, I'm a Bill Aggio like doubter. I doubt Bill Aggio all the time. The one time I don't doubt Bill Aggio against Kyle Nelson freaking beats him, and that's the one time I freaking don't pick Kyle Nelson. It's okay. But I think I like Aggio here because I think his style. As long as he doesn't get nuked early, which is very possible, I'm not gonna lie. I do like that Doo Choi's training with Korean Zombie here. Along with another Choi. I don't think like Bill Aggio's jiu-jitsu is gonna be like something super big, but I think the style of the karate-ish style is gonna work out for him, and I just banking on him not getting finished this time. But I'm not confident in either of these two. It's just throw it out there in the world, I guess. I don't know. I don't have much to say about this one. I my opinion, don't bet this way. Yeah, I'd rather mention yeah. Zhang Young Lee, anything minus 200, I like. I do like that for that fight. So yeah, but yeah, this fight minus 163, Aggio. I can't bet that. Maybe if we get to minus 150, but even then, I don't even think so. Stay away from me. Next fight up the card, we have Bruno Silva versus Cody Durden. I saw that Bruno Silva KO, or no, sub. I think KO because of the front kick. That was crazy. I saw that live, and I was front row. That was crazy. But at the Virgin Hotel. But yeah, I got Cody Durden. But this is not something I'm super confident in. I'm not confident in this one. I like the activity of Durden. I don't really know why Bruno Silva's been inactive. I haven't looked too much into this one. I'm not looking to bet it too much, really, at the moment. I think Durden has shown his toughness. He can keep himself safe on the ground, and so I'm not really worried about a Bruno Silva scepter. I do think Cody Durden gets takedowns. I don't think that's like a hot take or anything. On the feet is gonna be a worry. I'm gonna be worried about Cody Durden's gas tank as well, but I think ultimately he's gonna be able to get takedowns and win like that. Just all I really have to say with that one. Yeah, and the odds are this one: Durden minus 122. I think that's fair. Next fight up the card, we have Kurt Hollabov versus Kainan. I don't know how to say this guy's last name. Krzyzewski. Kainan. We'll go with Kainan. Kurt Hollabov was so bad his last fight. He really, really was. And that was that was not good to see at all. But does he win this one I'm like really not sure on. But Kainan definitely has KO power. I am worried about that. I think he can win with like wrestling. It's a close fight. It really is. Again, thinking about switching the Hollabov, but I do think Kainan has more weapons. Does he even get like his finish though? Like that? I don't know. Just thinking. Yeah, I think he's got a path in the grappling. I think he's got a path in the grappling to win a decision. He's with the fighting nerds, which I like. I mean, anyone with the fighting nerds, I guess, is an automatic pick. But I don't believe that kind of thing. Be even then, because Kralbow's good subs off his back. I don't know. I'm not confident in this one. I think he takes him down and wins a decision like that by doing what Trey Ogden did, basically, but being like younger, younger than Trey Ogden. Actually, is he younger? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Ogden. I remember Ogden's like not as old as I always think he is. But yeah, I think Kaden's gonna win. Not confident. Next fight up the card: Steve Garcia versus Sungwoo Choi. Okay, mouse work for me. Okay, now we have one of the bet. I think I'm gonna have a bet on this one. I'm gonna bet on Sungwoo Choi get a KO. So, Champus, why are you trusting this chinless guy? This guy without a chin. I just think he's better. And I think Steve Garcia himself does not have a great chin. I don't think he's got a great chin himself. I like Sungwoo Choi's techniques a lot better. I didn't like him at Kill Clip. Was really bad for him because he became a left hook spammer. Please, Sungwoo Choi, I beg of you, do not left hook. I beg of you, you'll get caught like that. But he's with Korean Zombie now, which I really, really like. And I think if Korean Zombie like keeps him disciplined and gets him to do well, I think he can have success and get a KO blow here. And against Steve Garcia is going to be trying to go for the kill as well. I think Sungwoo Choi has a chance to also grapple if he wants to. Although, but it might be tough because Melky Costa was trying to do that with Steve Garcia, and that didn't go so well for him. But I do think on the feet he's just cleaner. And this is like the first time in a bit that Steve Garcia is fighting someone as big as him. Like Sungwoo Choi is a massive dude. He's massive. And I think because of that, I like him here. I like him here, especially as an underdog, which honestly, this is probably a 50-50 fight. Since it's a 50-50 fight, I think I'm going to take a shot on Sungwoo Choi. So yeah, I like Sungwoo Choi. Give me the underdog here. Next fight up the card. Brad Tavares versus John Young Park. I get the arguments to find Tavares, but I'm going to go decision. John Young Park. I. It's gonna be tough for John Young Park to get Brad Tavares down. I mean, it's hard for anyone to get Brad Tavares down. I do think he can have success with like cage pushing, and obviously optics wise, it's gonna look good with him like being the one coming towards Brad Tavares. I like the volume of John Young Park. Um, some of the looks Brad Tavares has been having as of late, it's just not been good looks. Like the Chris Weidman win is just, ugh. It's not been so great. No shame in losing the Drickus. Bruno Silva, not the best loss, but I mean, he got caught by the guy's win condition. I get that. Gregory Rodriguez was hurt, getting in pretty bad. He gets another finish loss. It's not great, and I'd like John Young Park to bounce back after his loss against Andre Muniz, which, to be honest, I thought he won, but it was close. It was close. I can understand why they went to Muniz, but I like John Young Park to bounce back and get a win here. I like it. I like him to win. So, yeah. More volume, pushing him up against the cage. At the odds, I'm not really super interested. Although they come down a bit, -160. We're starting to get to playable range. Actually, I might look at that. I didn't see that the odds have dropped on this. So I guess a lot of people are on Tavares, which I get because the people are assuming this is going to be a kickboxing fight, and I can totally get that. I do think though this is going to be close, and I think cage pushing is going to be huge for John Young Park. If he gets takedowns, I mean that's massive in his favor for John Young Park. But yeah, I love him in this fight. Not I love him. I like him in this fight. Wouldn't be a big bet if I do bet on him. Then we have our main event: Amanda Lemos versus Virna Jandiroba. See, I know who I'm picking. I don't know the method. I'm definitely going Amanda Lemos, but I'm between decision and KO. Let me take a look. Let me take a little deep dive in Amanda Lemos's. Does she get late finishes? If she doesn't, I'm going to go with decision. Let's see here. Oh my god, don't remind me. That was awful. That made me so mad because I have money on Marina. I thought that was early. Round one. She's early finisher. I guess the Marina Rodriguez one. Okay. Oh man, hold on. Okay, good. I had a heart attack that all that work was gone. It's okay. I think she'll get a KO round 3. So why do I think Lemos will get a KO round 3? I think the athleticism is a big difference. I don't think this fight's over if Jandiroba gets a takedown. I don't. So like I'll be clear with that. I think Lemos is a really good live betting opportunity, especially like after the first takedown, because I do expect her to get taken down. But Lemos does a really good job at keep fighting in tough situations. I really like that about Lemos, and that Zhang Wei Li fight, she was getting freaking dominated, of course, but she's able to keep herself safe and not just get finished. And I think that's important in a fight like this, where this is Virna Jandiroba's first 5-rounder. Jandiroba has a gas problem. We've seen that. Lemos not the greatest with her gas tank either, but she's gone 5 rounds before, and she's trained for 5 rounds multiple times. This is Jandiroba's first time doing it. I think it's a whole different time, a whole different ball game when you're doing it for the first time. So yeah, I think Lemos can catch her. I don't think decision's out of possibility, because I can see Jandiroba being tough, but getting hit with big shots, maybe still being able to get the takedowns, but those big shots are just everything. Jandiroba on the feet it's just not great. Not a great look. Is Jandiroba live for a sub? Yes, of course. But she hasn't subbed anyone in a very long time. I think Lemos, the difference on the feet is big. I think her athleticism is a massive edge for Lemos, and that she can potentially run away, pull a Chelsea Chandler, but not get hurt, of course, but kind of thing. But I think Lemos can take advantage of Jandiroba not being the best on the feet. I thought Jandiroba versus Dern made me think Mackenzie Dern had good boxing. That's what that fight did to me. And you rued the day for that one, Virna, for making me think that. I don't think that anymore, of course, but yeah, I think Lemos is gonna win this fight. How, I'm not super sure, but yeah. So let's and on the odds, Lemos is like plus 107. I think at any point, either girl as a dog, I get betting. I think Lemos as a dog, I think is worth a bet. I think I will play that. A small amount. So yeah. Let's just break this down once more real quick. Just like a quick little thing. Yeah, like Mo Usman, I don't think he'll get taken down. I think he'll hit the better shots. Betting wise, an over I don't think is a bad look. I don't think. I mean, I get people going under too, because like I guess like any heavyweight fights, anyone can get a finish, but probably an over. Um, yeah, I'm no other real bets. I'm liking Pudilova, Luana, probably an over. I bet you that line is disgusting. So I'm actually super curious what that line looks like. Over 1.5 minus 750, over 2.5 minus 450. I think you would probably be safe. Go to distance minus 400. Yeah, you'll probably be safe, but nasty odds, of course. You know what you're getting into. Loic versus Trey Ogden. I'm not interested in betting like any other like props and stuff like that. Just give me Loic money line if I'm going to bet it. I'm not sure if I am. Miranda Maverick money line is beautiful. I think I might take the spread because I believe Miranda Maverick's not necessarily going to be outgunned round 1. I think she could even get a finish round 3. I don't hate that bet. I'm curious when that drops what those odds are going to look like. Yeah, those odds have not dropped. Yeah, that's something I would probably look into. Hyder Emil, Zhang Yang Li. I don't know. Because the over and under is like scary for me because both guys are very durable, but the way both fight is just conducive to finishes. So like, I would guess the under would be the way to go for this one. Like, and it's gonna be a freaking firefight. It's gonna be so good. Yeah, under 2.5 is minus 125. Find out to go distance minus 165. Yeah, but I think that's probably the one to go with. Bill Algeo versus Doo Ho Choi. It's just I don't want to bet on either of these two. I feel like I don't know how to predict either of those guys. I don't want to play anything at those odds. Like the overs and the overs are too chalky for me to want to play them. And unders, I just don't think it's gonna happen. So, yeah. Unless like I think Doo Ho Choi to get a finish is live, but Bill Algeo, I don't think he's gonna finish Doo Ho Choi. Cody Durden, Bruno Silva. I think this probably goes over. Over 2.5 minus 220. Yeah, I don't hate that. It's biggest thing is you have to worry about Bruno Silva, but I think Durden's tough cookie. I think he can pass through that. Kurhalaba, Kanon. I mean, a lot of people the betting on do not predict the decision. But I'm thinking he's going to wrestle with the decision. With the fighting nerds, be smart, but yeah. I don't have any confident bets about that one. Sungwoo Choi, Steve Garcia. Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like I don't want to play an under. I feel like playing an under is a little bit scary. I feel like because both guys know that's like very possible. Both can get knocked out. Maybe they take a different approach, and if that's the case, that's a little like hardest beating. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything I really like on that one, like props wise. Tavares, Park. Probably Park money line. Maybe over 1.5. I think if Tavares gets finished, it's later. Jungyoung Park's an Iron Turtle. I don't think he gets finished. Yeah, probably an over would be fine on that one. Lemos, Jandiroba. I would look at it over. I think over 1 round might be interesting. Might be sucky odds, but that's the one I like the most. Over 1.5 is minus 310, and fight to complete 1 round is minus 650. That's disgusting. Okay, I've talked myself off of it. I do think this fight has a chance to go to the distance. So if you do like that, I don't hate that bet at all. I don't hate that bet at all. In terms of like six strike bets, maybe Maverick. Maverick's six strike differential is pretty freaking good. I do like that. Korean Tiger doesn't throw the most, just like the worry for that one. So I'd stay away from that one for like six strikes and like more takedowns. More takedowns, Durden. That's gonna be disgusting odds, but that's gonna hit. I know that for sure. Maybe six strikes Sungwoo Choi, like a small bet on that. Because he's going to be the more technical guy, I expect. So I think he can have more volume. Jun Young Park, six strikes, I think should be pretty alright. I'm very curious about those odds, actually. If those are even out. If they're out, let me take a look. Nope, they're not. I think that's going to be a good look, but we'll see. I'm not interested in betting the six strikes. More takedowns, Virna, probably. You would think. Yeah. So, yeah. Those are my picks for the card. Champ bets. Very excited for this card. And, yeah. Bets I really like. Miranda Maverick. Jung Young Lee. Korean Tiger. Sungwoo Choi. And Lemos. Lemos probably the least out of all those ones, but I think I might get myself a little bit on Loic and Park, Jun Young Park. But yeah, that's the breakdown. Let's go. Very excited for the fights this week. I'm gonna be wearing my Miranda Maverick shirt, of course. Again, let me try again. Just try and see the signature. Is there any way to... Oh, there you go. Oh, no. StreamYard, no. It's there. It's there. All right. That was fun. Can't wait for next week, 304. I might make a video about the main event because I am very, very confident in the main event next week, 304. And it's my biggest bet ever. So I'm very excited about it. I think I might just make a video specifically tailored to talk about the main event and why I feel the way I do. Otherwise, check out champbetsmma.com. Check out me on betmma.tips, champ bets, and yeah, also the YouTube channel. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and see you guys next week for UFC 304. Let's go.